I almost didn't go to my wife's company dinner. She had mentioned it like it was nothing. Just a work thing, she said while scrolling on her phone. You'd be bored. That word stayed with me. Bored. Like her world had grown into something I didn't belong in anymore. Her name is Priya. We've been married 7 years. When she first started at this company, we were a team. She'd come home stressed, and I'd help her practice presentations in the living room. I knew the names of her coworkers, her office politics, which managers she couldn't stand. Every promotion she got felt like a win for both of us. But somewhere along the way, her job stopped being something we shared. It became something that took her away. She stopped talking about her days. It's complicated, she'd say, or you wouldn't understand the corporate stuff. She started coming home later. Her phone stayed in her hand more. She laughed at messages but didn't share what was funny. I tried not to be insecure. She was ambitious, driven. That's one of the things I loved about her. But I started to feel like I was watching her life through a window instead of living in it with her. A week before the dinner, I asked, "So are spouses going?" She hesitated just for a second. "Some, I think, mostly senior staff." "Can I come?" She sighed softly. "If you want. If you want. Not I'd love for you to be there." Still, I said yes. Not because I wanted a fancy meal. Because I needed to see the place that seemed to matter more to her than home. The restaurant was sleek and modern. Glass walls, low lights, people in suits holding wine glasses like they were accessories. Priya looked different there. Straighter posture, sharper smile, like she stepped into a version of herself I only saw from a distance. She walked ahead of me slightly as we entered, greeting people with warmth I hadn't felt in a while. "Priya, over here." She laughed, waving, completely at ease. "This is my husband," she said quickly as she introduced me to a small group. "No name, just a role." Then she turned back to work talk, numbers, targets, a project she'd stayed up nights working on. Nights she told me she was just tired. I stood there nodding politely, feeling invisible. Then he approached. Tall, confident, expensive suit, the kind of man who carried authority like a scent, her boss. "Priya," he said warmly, placing a hand on her shoulder. "Too familiar. Good to see you." She smiled up at him in a way that twisted something in my chest. His eyes shifted to me, slowly assessing. "And you are?" Her pause was small. "My husband," she said. He looked me up and down, not rudely but critically, like evaluating a resume. "Oh," he said with a light chuckle, "you weren't what I expected." I smiled thinly. "What did you expect?" He shrugged. Given how much Priya talks about drive and big goals, I figured her partner would be more corporate. Corporate? Like a personality. Priya laughed awkwardly. "He does his own thing." I looked at her. She didn't look back. Her boss nodded politely, already losing interest. "Well, good for you," he said, turning away. "Priya, we need to review those projections." She followed him instantly. Didn't even glance over her shoulder. And that's when it hit. It wasn't the comment. It was how easily she moved away. Like I was something she'd set down on the table. I watched them from across the room, leaning in close, talking intensely. She was animated, alive, confident, that spark I used to see at home. A woman from her team came over. "You're Priya's husband, right?" "Oh, yeah." She smiled kindly. "She's amazing. He really relies on her." "Relies how?" I asked. "Oh, late nights, extra time. He trusts her more than anyone." The way she said it made my stomach tighten. I stepped outside. Cool air, quiet street. My reflection in the glass looked like someone visiting a life that wasn't his. Priya came out a few minutes later. "Why did you disappear?" "I needed air," I said. "Your boss seems comfortable with you." She frowned. "Don't start." "I'm not," I said calmly, "but when he talked down to me, you didn't say a word." "He didn't mean it like that." "But I heard it like that," I replied, "and you let it slide." She looked away. "I felt like a guest tonight," I said softly, "in my own wife's life." Her eyes watered. "That's not true." "Then why did it feel like I had to earn a place in a world you built without me?" Silence. "I've supported you from day one," I continued, "but somewhere along the way, your ambition stopped having room for us." She wiped her eyes. "I didn't realize." "That's the problem," I said. "You didn't realize I was slowly disappearing from your picture." She looked back through the glass at the party, then at me. "I don't want to lose you." I nodded. "Then don't create a life where I don't fit." For the first time that night, she reached for my hand. And in that small gesture, I saw something. Not guilt. Awareness. Maybe even fear. Because sometimes the moment someone looks at you and says, "You weren't what I expected," is the moment you realize you have to decide whether you still want to stay somewhere you're no longer truly seen. And that night, standing under the streetlight outside her perfect corporate world, I understood something clearly. Love doesn't fade because of one person. It fades when one life keeps growing outward, and the other is slowly left behind.